alive. 怒りを叫べ、悲しみを叫べ、魂を叫べ、今ここで叫べ。
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Yokai Delinquents podcast. I am Sean, bearded Kappa Litton.
I'm Jerry Robo Tengu Smith. We have the most exciting episode for you today. I can't wait to talk about all these fun topics that we decided beforehand that we were going to bring up. Right? We had really... Yeah,
totally. Well,
this is the energy that we're bringing today.
This is as good as it's going to get, so strap in and brace yourselves for the mediocrity that will be this episode. At least
mediocrity, not while I'm around.
As far as
Thank you.
As far as my energy, I hate to deliver, which I'm going to do my damnedest because I actually do have something. We have something we want to talk about that I am personally excited about, and that's because, like I said, full disclosure, our friend Nick Helms has a Kickstarter going to be starting. As the time it's recording, it will time that this airs, it'll be live for a comic book, and he sent us an early draft, an early copy for us to kind of read and review. And I just, and I want to be full, transparent that I do have some involvement with this book. Some early character design, I could kind of workshop some story elements with him, and and provided a variant cover. If the Kickstarter goes live, you could actually get a copy of the issue with my art on the cover, which is pretty fucking cool, I have to say.
Yeah, no, it's totally awesome, and honestly, it makes total sense that you would take advice from the guy who's like still reading the same comics from the 90s that are coming out, so Savage Dragon, and this is such a 90s comic. It was great. It was a fun read, and I mean, like, dude, is there anything that Nick hasn't done?
Dude, Nick is this man is like what they call like a Renaissance man. He's we had him previously, for those who followed me and Jerry from our Southern Fried Geekery days. You may remember Nick Helms' name from his Red Hood fan films he was making. We talked about that with him back on the show. And now he has stepped away from filmmaking, but he's he's pushed his creativity into comics. And he has as Jerry said, the title of the book is called Vengeance Emergence, and it's as 90s as it sounds, and that's what he wanted to go for. And for me, like you said, me being a Savage Dragon fan, who, while the book has evolved, it still very much feels like it did when it started. I can get behind that. I liked the idea. I like good old the good old tales of like revenge can still be appealing. I mean, when we do have like books out there that have the deeper layers, and I don't know where this book is going. I know the general premise from what Nick has told me the goals are, but like any project, it could evolve over time.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's got all of those elements that you would want to see in a book that's kind of based on like an older or a more classic 90s theme, where it's like, kind of got that bit of edge to it. It's all black and white, so you kind of have like that sort of like Miller-esque influence with the art,
Right. And
the really good, origin story kind of revenge thing going on. It was pretty good stuff. Like, and it's funny. I think he had a podcast named Good Stuff at one point as well. But our full cast here that we had working on this was Nick Helms was the writer and letterer. Nate Niles was pencils, and then Jake Jackson was inks. And they are The I guess this is the title of their studio that they put together is Original Geek Comics.
Right.
And I don't know how much more classic you could get with that name.
I mean,
But yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, no, that's a great company, which is always like fun. How long I mean, I don't know how long he spent on it, but us just trying to think of a podcast name took us a while.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah, and but yeah, Nick's a great guy, and like I said, the book is a tale of vengeance. It
Mhm.
is the main character is Nick Burrows, a all-star pitcher for his college, as well as, but he really wants to go into investigative journalism. Gets a little in too deep with a local crime syndicate called the Nightmare Gang, and like you can basically he gets in a little too close, and at the end it's pretty much like they're on to him. He posts an article about some of the dealings, and you can kind of figure where it's going to go from there. Like, so we don't want to read the whole book off to you, but like I said, yeah, it's like your classic. From what I know of the story, like, yeah, we're gonna get uh, we don't not a good future in there for Nick, and what, but he does turn
The character,
the character
not
Nick.
the writer of the comic. Right.
Well, yeah, yeah, a little bit, yeah, yeah. The character and the writer are both named Nick. Very true.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Nick Burrows, our hero, who will become vengeance
Mhm.
once yeah, the Nightmare Gang get a hold of him. And in this first book, it is a setup book. It is kind of a I don't know, like proof of concept, but fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
It's a well written. I think the dialogue is really good. I really like the interaction with the characters. Feel very natural. And like you said, the art's clean, black and white styling, and yeah, like I highly encourage y'all checking out. I don't know what his Kickstarter goals are going to be, and as we said, when this episode airs, it'll be live, and I'll have a link in our descriptions on both YouTube and our Anchor version. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking out if like support a local creator, local creative team, as well as just yeah, maybe like a little bit of old school vengeance books.
Yeah, definitely. And just to see what else, what other possibilities he could have. I mean, this Nick obviously has like a million and one ideas,
Oh,
right?
I'm sure.
He's just like that thing that's like constantly churning out like more and more ideas. Like I hope he has enough space on his computer to keep up with all of this stuff because like seriously, every time I see him post anything on social media, the guy is always talking about some kind of new project.
Right, and
Um,
there's sorry to jump in real quick.
you're fine.
I don't want to say too much because we are planning to have Nick on the show here in the future,
Mhm.
so I don't want to get into like too much of some things. But yeah, he talked to me and before some things got obviously like COVID was a big issue with like his filming
Mhm.
stuff. Don't want to speak too much on his projects, but there was even one I may have been involved in on that as well, and
Yeah, yeah,
we'll see if we'll get into that when we get him on the show though.
yeah. No, that'll be awesome. I can't wait to look in this a bit more. And it was really cool of him to send us this first issue so we could check it out and talk about it on the show and everything.
Oh yeah, and I like he although friendly as hell, he's a good buddy,
Mhm.
but he still kind of called us out a little bit. I think, at least in the
Oh
original
yeah.
the original message. He goes, I know y'all don't really talk comics anymore, which is sadly true. But we're both buying a little less. But yeah, but he's like he'd like for us to like get a chance to read the issue in its entirety and give our thoughts on it, maybe promote it if we liked it, and we both did. So. And of course, like
I'll
I said,
have you know, Nick, that I read two comics the other day.
two whole
So
books.
up yours, yeah. They were Beta Ray Bill issue 2 and 3.
I mean, okay, so you read two issues, but not two comics
No, they were they were two. I mean, they were two comic books.
of the same book, just two issues.
Shut up, John.
Wow, Jerry, it's been that long since you used to be a comic book guy. I remember you used to be
Well,
that guy who read the comics Now look at you. You don't do
Yeah,
anything.
well, someone's got to pay bills and do the mortgage and
Do the mortgage. That's the
in,
most adulting
in,
thing I've ever
in,
term I've heard.
sure, it's business, business, business.
Business.
There are a lot of forms to fill up on a daily basis whenever you're an adult, Sean.
It's been pretty rough since you had to move to Seattle to become an adult, huh?
Yeah.
No more just living that rock and roll lifestyle of Subway and Kapow. Now you just moved on to adulting. Got to worry about
No.
mortgages.
Night shifts and stuff like that. Ain't got none of that. I don't even know what nighttime is anymore. Like,
You just have like fucking souls killing like water cooler conversations at work that means nothing. And
yeah.
I hope I'm not insulting any of your coworkers. They listen to one of our 5 listeners.
Yeah, stare off emptily and oh my god.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
My brain's fried. I'm good.
Moving. Okay. Well, again, one last thing. Check out the link that's going to be in the descriptions to check out Vengeance Emergence, Nick Helms and Company's original Geek Comics Kickstarter. Hey, if you like what you see on there, and you want to support a local indie guy, man, go ahead and throw a few bucks down there and get you some rewards and get your hands on this book.
Yeah, and get Sean's variant. That's part of their Kickstarter rewards, right?
It should be a tier. I don't have the details yet because I will find out when everyone else does on the 1st.
Yeah.
Which is again, like we're recording before the 1st, but this episode's going live well after it. So go check out the Kickstarter, find out the tiers. If you follow me on the socials, I will certainly be telling you how much you need to throw down to get my book, my version of the book.
And I'll be the second person to ever get a signature from Sean, other than that little girl that he talked about on our last episode.
Look, dude, she got that OG original. She's gonna cherish it when it's in the bottom of her backpack.
Did you sign it Sean Litton or Bearded Kappa?
Yes. I put
Okay.
Sean Litton, Bearded Kappa. Because I had no idea what to fucking write. Because I don't have okay, you brought up an autograph, and I'm gonna ask you a question because it bothered. I can say it's been haunting me, but it's bothering me.
Yeah.
Because I'll see celebrities. I'm not a big signature guy, but I've gotten a few over the years, and I've seen a bunch. And these people got these out there, just have these wonderful, big, iconic signatures, and my shit just looks like Dr. fucking Note Chicken Scratch, how I've always signed a document in my life. And I'm like, do I need to come up with a, not that I don't think I'm ever going to get another fucking autograph again in my life, but if it happens, if another young child who wants to appreciate the nerdum and wants my autograph, do I need to get prettier writing? Is that a thing, or do I just go with my natural?
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that they actually try out different styles. They probably hire people to specifically help them come out with a signature and practice it over and over again. I'm pretty sure at one point I think whenever I was I took a single art class my entire life in middle school.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that was a lesson that we learned in one of the classes is creating an iconic signature. I failed that class, so I don't have an iconic signature. Mine looks like shit garbage too. But
okay. First of all, where was my guidance counselor to show me my career path to be a autograph tutor? I didn't know that was a career I could be having right now in big Hollywood land and teaching these people how to write their, if that's even a thing, and not just your made up fantasy. Two, I've taken several art classes throughout my life. That was never on the curriculum. Never. That's why all I did was look at different artists from the 90s and see how, because back when Image and Marvel, all the artists had to make sure they signed their fucking covers so they could get all the attention they could. And I've got my, for lack of a better description, my dollar bill SL kind of artist signature. That doesn't work. I need to make a stamp of that. It's not like an autograph thing. Crap. Now I got to really focus on my penmanship.
I mean, you got to go with Bearded Kappa, so you could just initial everything BK.
Look, I'm gonna make the oldest man reference I have ever made, probably right now, and say
Oh,
I'm really worried people are gonna mistake it for British Knights and like nobody remembers
wow.
them shoes. Oh, did you
I have
actually?
no, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I was going Burger King with that, but all right.
Of course, you're going Burger King.
It's the only BK that matters.
When I was but a youth, there was a shoe brand that I think was maybe popular, if ever, for maybe a summer or something called British Knights. Some old listener out there will remember those damn
Yeah,
shoe
yeah.
brands
There's
out
there's
there.
that one person out there that's like, holy shit, Evan, that's a name that I haven't heard in some time.
Right, and now I'm visualizing someone sitting there listening, and they're just covered in British Knight gear. The one fan holding out, keeping the company
Yeah,
afloat,
yeah,
buying
yeah,
all their
yeah.
merch. And we, hey,
That
and you know what,
single person.
Steve out there, yeah, you Steve with the British Knight gear, we appreciate you.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, all right, I think we
You're
rambled
welcome.
enough after just probably ruining the pitch for our friend's Kickstarter. What else do we have?
So there was a new Shonen Jump comic that started this past week. You know, there's probably been several, and I just missed them because I'm really bad at keeping up with stuff. I usually feel like I get at least the first chapter of several things. But anyway, some stuff just recently ended, which is
Yeah,
sad. But you know, welcome to Shonen Jump, the meat grinder.
right.
Um, and the stuff that actually just ended was Doctor Stone and My Hero Academia. So rip to those, I guess.
Shut.
No, I'm
You
just
had me
kidding.
for a second with that Doctor Stone fucking
With Doctor Stone.
for a split second. I was like, "The fuck? Did
uh,
I miss something? Did it
yeah.
say the end?"
So no, those are not ending. You don't have to panic. What was it? Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin ended, right?
Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin did, and as well as I Tell C.
I tell C, right?
Yeah, no,
Um, so it wasn't too long ago that we had Candy Flurry start. I think they're up to chapter 10 though, so
yeah,
that one's been going for a little bit. I think that one actually took the place of Phantom Seer, maybe.
I think so. It was
Um,
roughly around that time
yeah,
because it's not
right.
always like immediate when one gets canceled or ended. That we get an
Yeah,
immediate replacement, but that was I think that's definitely been the newest one up until this one that we're bringing up now.
right, right. And I mean, like, I don't remember if we talked about Candy Flurry. We probably did. I'm just repeating myself, but I thought it was pretty cool. So
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. But it's essentially a story, kind of a, I think, Willy Wonka type vibe, where this person sent out all these, like, what was it, 100 magical candies,
yeah,
and each one was had an ability that it gave you that was based off of like a different kind of treat. And it was 100, and they're all supposed to be unique. And something happened, and fucking Tokyo was decimated by fucking giant lollipops. And the remainder of humanity, you know, is basically living in a city, and they kind of live in fear to this. So they made a kind of a police force called the Rachete that deal with candy user crimes. And our main character, you know what? Now that I'm explaining this, I remember that we did talk about it. But anyway, I'm just going to reiterate because it's 10 chapters in now, and I think we only talked about it whenever it just started. But the main character, which now I can say is a lollipop user, but they're not the one responsible for this catastrophe.
right.
And you know, through a bunch of events, they have met up with two Ricchetti members, and they're taking the exam to become one right now. And of course, you know, antics ensue. You have more users that pop up, and it's just kind of this sort of fun battle manga that is, you know, has all these abilities pop up. And you know, Shonen Jump does this all the time. But I really like how unique this one is, and it's been a lot of fun to read.
Yeah, it's very creative uses for like weapons like candy, like the recent battle with the guy who uses popcorn.
Mm-hmm,
Was
mm-hmm,
this very cool concept, and of course, it's her lollipop abilities, and the other Rossetti user who uses ice cream. We're like,
mm-hmm,
so you're getting unique battles with unique concepts. Like you can tell this
mm-hmm.
is like not to throw too much pressure onto this creator because they totally listen to the show. Uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's very One Piece to me in that of like if they can keep up this momentum using like the
Yeah.
unique battles with unique powers that you wouldn't like, Luffy being made of rubber, just became the amazing battle it is. This could easily just like candy fighting, but it's like it's already turned pretty damn epic.
Yeah.
So, I think this book has that book has a lot of attention, a lot of
Oh yeah.
potential.
Potential. Yes,
Potential.
that's the
That's
word.
the word
We
I
are
wanted to say.
wordsmiths today.
We are. This is going wonderfully.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Candy Flurry's story by Ippon Takaguchi and art by Santa Madarashi. So the newest one that came out this week, that I honestly really kind of really dug it. It had kind of I don't know, interesting art style that I don't feel that we get enough of for a shonen series. But it's called the Hunters Guild Red Hood, and it just occurred to me that that could be setting us up for a other Hunters Guild spinoffs
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's yeah. But it's by Yuki Kawaguchi, who, to my knowledge, hasn't really done any other work. But the story kind of has a very Grimm's fairy tale vibe to it,
Yeah.
um, which I am so down for. I love the all the Grimm fairy tales, and the secret like dark tellings of all of them that we kind of just gloss over and
Right.
lighten up and everything here in America. But the story takes place in a little village. Apparently, it's having encounters by a werewolf that keeps eating people, and this is like one of those things that is known to happen in the world, and it'll pretty much just keep eating people until it's has destroyed the whole town. And you have a kid whose name is Valu, who is like he's decided that he's going to take out this and hunt it. When the old man of the town or whatever steps in, and he tells everyone that he hired someone from the Hunters Guild, and apparently the Hunters Guild is who you call whenever you have any kind of problems with all these kinds of these monsters and everything like this. And it's kind of funny because who shows up is this little girl, and her name is Grim, which already are like, oh,
Right.
that's interesting. And I think even before that, they said that the Hunters Guild, oh, it was founded by the legendary Red Hood, as a guild of mercenaries who specialize in hunting monsters. So already, I don't know, they already had me pretty intrigued by the premise of like hunting monsters and the fact that there are monsters in the world, and also that they're gonna bring a werewolf in on the first one because I fucking love werewolves in fantasy and everything.
No, yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. I enjoyed it. I do want to say, like, I don't know if you got it, like you said, like your point mentioned, like the art. At least with
Mm,
the people, it looked in all the positive ways. It was
mhm.
giving me a very My Hero Academia vibe, actually,
Oh yeah,
with the art,
yeah, I can see
and
it.
that's a high compliment because I love the art of My
Hmm.
Hero. So I immediately was drawn in with like the designs. 'Cause that's what maybe because
Hmm.
I'm an artist, maybe that's just what I always look at first. Is like, yeah, good art will draw me into a book first before hearing about like any story concepts.
Yeah, the thing that really stood out to me the most that you don't really see in a lot, and granted, this is a first chapter, so they get a little extra time to prepare it and everything.
Right.
And not to mention, it's like the first chapter is always the longest to get you hooked into the story. So the art might be a little more simpler from like moving forward, but the shading and detail in the word
Oh yeah.
balloons is so well done. And then when they finally show this werewolf off, and just how like grotesque and stuff it
Oh
looks.
yeah.
It's really well done.
It was a very unique design for a werewolf, and I really dug that because
Hmm.
I mean I'm obviously a horror fan, and
Hmm.
yeah, but like and love the tried and true classics. But when someone can make a very unique take on the classics and it works,
Hmm.
it's always entertaining. And we'll see that often in like I want to say anime and manga, and I've seen some more like European films and stuff that have done interesting takes on werewolves for specifically.
Hmm.
And so I always like to see that little like the little variations like that. Like I want to say
Yeah.
it was that Vampire Hunter D, the second film where like the werewolf
Hmm.
his entire
Bloodlust.
chest was the fucking
Yeah.
wolf head. Like
Oh yes.
this little take like that is fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny you mentioned that. I was actually just thinking about that the other day, and I guess honestly, this probably led me to think about it. But it's pretty cool because so like without giving too much away, it seems like the Grim has like kind of a special ability. Um, things go a certain way, and it
Right.
seems like she's kind of inviting this boy to become a hunter. So I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of interesting like initiation there that I can't really wait for. They also threw out some other like dragon that dragons have gone extinct because the hunters have basically like hunted them to extinction. So they shouldn't be showing up, which how this stuff goes. There's probably going to be a dragon at some point.
Right.
But she also throws out werewolves, witches, vampires. We even get a little glimpse image of like maybe a mermaid and stuff like that, like an ogre.
Right.
So they really have a lot to work with here, and there's a lot of possibilities of stuff going on here. Also, I really kind of love this concept of like a really strong like female heroine that's like stepping in to kind of train this kid in the ways of hunting and everything like that. So I'm pretty excited about this one, and I hope it gets a fair run and enough people check it out. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
definitely looking forward to it. Our next chapter is coming on July 4th, so
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's
yeah.
definitely hooked me in immediately. I
Hmm.
did want to say though, for about a little bit, real quick about the
Hmm.
couple of books that ended because I was reading both of them.
Oh, right.
The hard boiled cop and dolphin. I'm pretty sure I
Hmm.
brought it up in a previous show. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
picked it up. I know I kept trying to get you to read it.
Yeah, you really did. And like, I was just about to get into it. Just so close, and then it ended, and now I'm not interested.
You were never interested. Uh,
Just kidding.
while it, like I said, it didn't. I can't remember the exact number of chapters right now, but
47.
47. Thank you. Uh,
Yep.
47 issue run, and it was well, granted, sure, like any story, it could have probably gotten dragged out. I don't know if it ended the way it was supposed to, or got ended a little early,
Hmm.
but it ended, and it ended satisfactorily.
Right.
Satisfactory. It was a good ending. It was one I would tell anyone to go check out. Maybe now that it
Hmm.
ended, if you have like the Viz or Shonen Jump app, it's on there. Or if you happen to see the collection, the Tonkabons, when they if it ever gets published over here, I
Hmm.
suggest give it a read. It's from the person who made Beelzebub, if you remember that anime
Ah,
and manga.
Beelzebub. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's got like yeah, it's a cop comes to a small island, and there's a humanoid dolphin and a little girl who can communicate with fish. And from there, it starts off at first very kind of like slapsticky and just like the weird little like fishmen start showing up and doing small crimes, and then it just
Hmm.
turns into this epic like apocalyptic fishman cult, and the action ramps up. The backstories, the characters turn tragic, and it was really freaking good.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely out of the recommendations that you've given me, one that I've definitely been more intrigued just based off of the title. Like,
Right.
very interesting, and I really regret not getting onto it because maybe me reading it was the one
Yeah,
viewer that they needed to keep it going.
it's all your fault.
Yeah.
Uh, the other one, which I think only went 20 chapters, the
21.
21, I Tell C. A unique
Hmm.
premise that I know me and our buddy Mike Delvecchio was we were both reading it. Were you?
Hmm.
Did you check this one out?
I don't think so.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
another
don't believe
yeah,
that.
the detective story where they bring this has a specialist woman who falls in love with criminals, and she uses her obsession. It's like literally like, okay, hire a stalker to find all the little details of a crime and to find these criminals. And it's an interesting premise that me and Mike were a little worried at first, like this could get old because it was just like the first case was a pretty simple one, and just showing her just like creeping the guy out by like, I love you. Once you get out of jail, we'll be together. It's good, because she can't help herself. And while she did a couple more small crimes, and they had one major one, and then like they recruited a new person. Like this felt like an abrupt ending. Like it was like, I guess it just did not do well. And like the art was good. I thought the concept was interesting, while not like mind blowing with what they did with her and her unique way of tracking down criminals. I don't know. I thought it deserved a little better than 21 chapters than just a literal. Well, she's going to continue doing what she's doing. The end. So that one's a little hard to be like, hey, go check it out. But if you got the app, it's on there. It's a fun little quick read, but it will not be it's not a satisfying ending, sadly. But yeah, that's one. I was reading both of those and seeing them both end, but like we've talked about before, because I know we've discussed on the show about the the sausage grinder that is Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
And if you're not pulling them numbers, you're fucking gone, son.
Yeah.
But with every loss of a book, whether it be prematurely or sometimes it just run their course, like a Demon Slayer, which we both agreed like that book we thought was going to go for years and years, but it ended the way the creator wanted to.
Yeah.
But with every end, we get new books, and now we've gotten, like I said, the Red Hood just started, the Candy Flurry. I don't know why I'm going blank suddenly. Starting up already solid. I'm reading a baseball manga that started up not too long ago. You know what I mean? Like, so when every ending, there comes a new beginning, and it's always exciting to read some new books.
Yeah, yeah. With every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end, right? Wasn't that a Green Day song?
What's Green Day?
No, wait, that wasn't Green Day. That was oh man, who did Closing Time? Shit, Semisonic. Woo! I can't believe I called them Green Day. I feel terrible now.
Somebody somewhere is very disappointed in you.
Yeah, they're like, holy shit, that wasn't Green Day, you fucking moron. But anyway, I completely disagree with you. Tokyo Shinobi Squad should have had at least 200 or 300 chapters. Same could be said for the last Sayuki, because those were amazing, and people are terrible for not reading them more.
Well, you can't blame me. I read both of them too, fucker.
No.
I agree wholeheartedly with both of that.
Oh yeah, yeah, for real. One thing that I did notice, that I'm actually checking the app right now, because it's something that I just got the first chapter based off of a recommendation from a friend of mine, and that was Hell's Paradise, Jigo Kuraku. And it was a really fucking cool premise. I really, the art was just absolutely gorgeous. And I actually just noticed that it is all up on the Viz website, but unfortunately, it does not look like it is on the app. That's a bummer.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, I can finally go through and read some more, but no, I'll just buy that in volume format, which is fine. It's cool to have the solid formats anyway, especially for that art, because Hell's Paradise was just amazing. It's by Yuji Kaku, and just to give kind of like, a small premise without spoiling anything, because I definitely want you to read this, and I think you would be so into it.
Right.
It is, so the shogunate, his spies or whatever, have encountered this land that's like a mystical land, and they believe that it holds the fountain of youth or immortality or whatever. The only problem is anyone who stepped foot on it has fucking died, like a really rough death, like had like some kind of infection and burst into like spores or leaves or something, like had some kind of like crazy um, nature type thing happen to them and have basically died from these memes.
Right.
So what they have decided to do is gather these people who are all on death row, pair them with executioners, and send them to this island. And if they find the fountain of youth, then they are free. They're free to go. But the catch is that they have to come back as a pair. Like you can't come back without your executioner. And if you do anything wrong, the executioner can, murder you right then and there. And the main character is really cool. And then his executioner, of course, that he's with is really neat. And then they kind of throw like a monkey wrench in there, like as soon as they get to the island, that makes it even more interesting. But it is first volume, and I'm basically sold. Next time I go to the comic book store, I might buy 2 more volumes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll have to make my way back up to like my local Barnes and Noble and see if they have
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, if you have time and you don't mind reading it on your actual computer, all you have to do is log on to Viz's website.
Right.
If you're subscribed to Shonen Jump, you use the same credentials and everything, and you have access to all of it. So you can just read it that way. So like, if you're kind of, sort of in that point where you're like, maybe I do, maybe I don't, I'm really decided, just at least read the first volume on their site. And then if you are sold, then yeah, I definitely recommend picking up physical copies of it.
Right on. I'll definitely have to try to check it out when I get some time.
Yeah, for sure. Something cool that came out this past week. And it's funny because I always had a love-hate relationship with this series since its conception. And that is the Chainsaw Man anime. Has been announced for a while, but they finally released the first trailer, and holy fucking shit, it looks phenomenal. Like, I am so excited for this.
Like Mappa Studio, just fucking did not have to come this hard.
Oh, I know.
All
I
over
know.
the screen. To like,
Mm-hmm.
it is like, it makes me question if it's going to be an OVA or an actual weekly series. The animation is so fucking good. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. That was one. I think when you started it, you pimped it to me, and I maybe gave it a chapter or two, and then I fell off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you and Mike would just not shut up about it.
Yeah.
So I gave in, and I'm so glad I finally went back and let more chapters build, and that's one I totally got into, and that's the one that had a false end. Because,
Yeah, it was kind of interesting.
like currently no chapters are coming out, but this is end of part 1. So eagerly awaiting more of the manga, and definitely waiting on the anime.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the same studio that did Jujutsu Kaisen, and apparently the Attack on Titan's final season. So you know that it's going to be quality stuff.
Oh yeah.
The reason why I say love hate is because whenever I was reading this, it was really fucking cool. Like I loved any of the action sequences. They were just really bizarrely like well done. And all of the designs for the demons were so interesting.
Right.
But with their art, it seemed like sort of on the downtime of the series, whenever you're just kind of dealing with the day to day.
Yeah.
I would often get the characters mixed up a lot because I don't know, just the way that they did regular like human faces would sometimes like mix and mesh not very well, which you're not going to have an issue with watching it as an anime.
Right.
And I don't know, the main character to it didn't really intrigue me. He wasn't a super interesting character. He was very one note. But that being said, it was fucking really cool. All the fight scenes were really dope, and I stayed on for every chapter of this. I read it every fucking week. and I just stuck with it. And I feel like having the payoff of getting ready for this anime is totally worth that.
Yeah. Now look, Jerry. Everybody
Hmm.
has their different motivations in life. Just because the hero Chainsaw Man's first original motivation was just to touch a pair of boobs, you know, look, man, we all got to have a goal to keep us going in life.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
damn it,
Of
this
course.
man, this man lived for his dream that he wanted, and by God, he
Yeah.
went through hell. He deserved a pair of boobs, okay, sir. So don't be hating on him too hard.
I'm not hating.
I
I'm not
know, I
hating.
know.
I just like. I mean, and it's one of those things. I guess like you get so many characters that, especially with shonen characters that have these huge like ultimate goals and stuff like that. That like it's interesting to have a character that's more shallow.
Right.
Um. So, yeah, I am all in on this.
Oh,
I'm
for
ready
sure.
for it, and I'm also wondering because it was one of those series that it's like, how are they able to do this on the Shonen Jump platform? Out
Right.
of out of all the series that they don't let on the Shonen Jump platform, how is this one able to do its thing on here? And I don't know that they knew that it was going to be this like violent and like sexual and everything. Um, but it turns out for the next part of the storyline, they're moving over to a different format,
Yeah.
to a different magazine, still in the under Shonen or still under Jump, but under a more mature magazine. So I'm kind of interested in that. I'm really hoping, since they probably gained a whole hell of a lot of fans from it being on Shonen Jump, that
Yeah.
this finally makes them like break out and be like, hey, we need to add apps for these other magazines,
Right.
or just make an ultimate app where they can subscribe for more magazines or something like that. Like I feel like having more, like Hell's Paradise or something like that, instead of having to read it all from the Viz website instead of the app.
Yeah.
It
Because
Yeah.
sorry, I was
No, no,
jumping
no.
in.
You're Go ahead.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say like, yeah, I really would hate. I mean, I'm probably gonna like the manga. I think is just now getting published here, and
Hmm.
like I think I'm gonna be picking it up now if for no other reason that I'm worried that the Viz app I use currently won't have it if it moves platforms,
Right.
and I gotta keep reading. So I'm probably gonna, yeah, I
Hmm.
need to I need to see if I can scoop up what volumes are out. I think only one or two have dropped so far, so
Hmm.
it's one I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind reading again. And I think that says a lot, like for
Hmm.
me, because I mean, like, yes, I always talk about I spend more money than I should. And that's not a lie, but
Hmm.
I think it says a lot when a book that I can fully read online, and I still want to rebuy, or like buy the physical volumes. Like, I'm doing that with My Hero Academia. I'm doing that with Demon Slayer, and yeah, I think I'm gonna pick up Chainsaw Man and
Yeah.
give it another read, because like
Man.
I do understand what you were saying about like the art, and
Hmm.
I don't remember having a lot of confusion, but I get that too,
Hmm.
because it's not gonna say plain's not the right word, but like these aren't like,
Hmm.
this isn't a game of like spot the shonen protagonist, because
Right.
it looks
Right.
very just like they look like normal people until the shit
Hmm.
gets real, and I think that's the intent of the design, to show the dynamic change of when he goes into his devil form.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like one of the things that I like that's popping up more and more lately, and it's one of my favorite things about Hell's Paradise and the physical releases of Chainsaw Man is the covers are so well done.
Oh
They're bright colors, and they're all like kind of that like different sort of like neon-esque vibe for a lot of them, lots of greens and pinks and stuff like that. And it's just very eye-popping. I really appreciate that.
yeah. Oh,
um
looks like there are
as
five
far as that
volumes.
goes.
Yeah, sorry. Look like there are
No, you're
five
fine.
volumes of it available.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess it's been coming out for a little bit.
guess so. I guess I need to get caught up. Yeah, I really think I want to scoop
Hmm.
these up.
Yeah, definitely do. Go right now. Go get
All
them.
right, later
What
on,
do
y'all.
you? What do you?
Jerry, finish the show
uh,
and come back here and stop the recording in my home.
yeah. I'll call B and be like, hey, can you just hit the stop button, please? Um, it's something else that I noticed because it'd been fucking forever since I've gone to a bookstore because of COVID.
Right.
Is they are actually releasing the Shaman King omnibuses now, and uh, for whoever out there was listening to an earlier episode, like a fucking crazy big Shaman King fan. A little sad that it's going to Netflix because that means we gotta wait for a fucking season to end before we get it. But one of the other things that they announced is that we are finally going to be getting the re-release of the manga over here. And back in the day, whenever they were releasing it in the early 2000s, they didn't finish the series. They didn't finish releasing it. So now with these omnibus editions, we're finally going to be getting the complete series. So I kind of want to pick these up so then I can finally finish it. Which, to be fair, uh, Shonen Jump and Viz has been doing a pretty good job of having the whole library of them on their apps. So like whenever we went to Japan and everything, in my downtime, whenever we were like riding on a train or just chilling at the Airbnb and stuff, or even flying back and forth from Japan, I actually downloaded quite a few volumes of it and was reading it then. But I mean, I think now that they're in stock, it'd be a good time to pick those up. And I think they at this point they only I believe have three volumes out maybe. Um, yeah, because they're up to let's see, volume three has or omnibus three has volume 7 and 9 in it, which I think is pretty close to the end. It went for quite a while, but not as long as some things deserve. But
Right.
yeah, looking forward to the anime. Looking forward to rereading the manga. So yeah, hell yeah, it's a good time to be an anime and manga fan.
And it is. And while we don't have too much longer left on time for today, I think something we'll be getting into here shortly will be we got the summer anime season kicking up. And
Yes.
well, I don't have the list in front of me. I was happy to see a few shows returning that jumped out at
Hmm.
me. We are getting Slime continuing, and
Finally.
I Stand on a Million Lives.
Yes.
I'm excited for those, and for me at least, I don't know. I don't think you ever got into it, but it was Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is returning
Right.
for a
Yeah.
second season. It's just a fun little comedy show that which after the emotional roller coaster it is To Your Eternity and Tokyo Revengers, I'm really looking forward to some comedy.
Yeah, seriously, like they've just been phenomenal.
Yeah.
I've really they were like just, out of nowhere just hits. Especially Snow White Notes.
Oh
If
my,
anybody
yeah.
was watching that, like, I kind of like dabbled in finding shamisen like really interesting, and it was really cool to get this series that was all about shamisen,
Right.
and just the emotions that go into it, and all the people that play it and everything like that. So I'm kind of looking forward to there being some surprise hits in our lineup. I think I'm looking at a new anime list for summer 2021. There's not a lot of stuff that is speaking out to me at this
Yeah.
time. I
Like,
do see that there is a new something new Getter Robo,
oh,
so
okay.
you have to check that out. It's probably a redo of one of their old series, but it comes out on the 4th, so I may at least watch the first episode and see how I like it. Gotta give me some giant robots. I don't feel like I've watched a giant robot anime in a while.
Yeah. I'm just going off of like what Crunchyroll has announced, since that's basically my main source for it, and I'm not seeing the Get a Robo thing, but yeah, the ones I
Hmm.
mentioned were the big ones for me.
Yeah. And there's always those like sleeper hits that
Oh yeah,
we know nothing about that other people are probably like pining for, and they're like, yes, I can't wait for this to come out, and it's gonna be the best, and people are gonna love it. And I'm just like, think about this. But I do definitely remember Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid being really big, and like honestly, came out like what, the year before we went to Japan, so like 2015 or
it's
something.
been a while. Yeah, and
Yeah,
the
like
manga's
6 years.
continued. The right now Crunchyroll has little 2 minute shorts of it. Like, I guess
Hmm.
they kind of like, hey, remember the show before yeah the official season drops
Hmm.
here in the next. No, should be here soon. Actually, we should be starting to get some anime probably this coming weekend as of time of recording.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Um, yeah, and like honestly, I'm pretty stoked that we're getting some more I Stand on a Million Lives.
Yeah,
That was a another SAK. We like to give them a fair shot, which I'm kind of sad that Spider has turned into like something that we're not pining for as
yeah.
much. But they they do what they do, and I Stand on a Million Lines actually comes out July 2nd, so we'll be getting that like Saturday after this recording. So
Yeah, and
that'll be pretty dope.
I'm glad we're getting a fast turnaround on that too because I feel like that only ended a season or two ago. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah. I
maybe it
feel
was
like I
summer
just
last year. So yeah,
Yeah, I honestly feel like I just finished it up early this year, but I could be wrong.
right. But
Like
yeah,
maybe that last year or something. But yeah, I will be looking out for stuff. And I know our buddy Mike's got us to
right.
like, I'm sure there's something in here that he's like, "Oh, sweet, they're making an anime of this," or like, "Gonna check this out." So, we'll just give Mike like 90% of this list and be like, "What should we watch from this, Mike?"
Tell us what to like.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Right on, sir.
But
Well, do we
yeah.
have any like little quick final stuff?
No, I
All
have
right.
nothing. Yep. No, not for me.
All right. Sounds good. Once again, do not forget to at least click the link provided below to check out our buddy Nick Helm's Kickstarter. And if you want to support, feel free to throw some money his way so a local creator can get his book on the market. Thank you all once again for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, we'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.